My knees felt really funny today. Really funny, really insecure, really weak is what I would describe them best, I think. Just feeling weak. I've done nothing but box squats for the last 10 days, and 7 of those days I've been sick. I'm still sick, still kind of dealing with that. But I wouldn't say that this sickness has made my knees weak. There's something more at play here, and I think it's the absence of doing free squats, essentially. So 10 days I've spent doing box squats to a 10-inch box, which is fairly low as it is. It's kind of been good to deload using the box squats. You can get away with using 1 or maybe even 2 plates and feel a lot more tension on your body compared to just free squats. It's just a completely different type of sensation for me. It's a lot more difficult, to say the least. It's just strange to produce force in that position. But today I decided to go back to free squats. I'm still not feeling right. It's freaking dragging forever, man. These bugs are mutated to such a degree that they no longer hit you really hard. Because if they do, that would evoke a really big immune response from the system, and they'll get killed. So instead, they just kind of simmer, and they simmer for freaking a long time. It seems. I feel like the viruses have evolved to like a endurance type of freaking athlete. That's what it seems like. 7 days, I'm still sick, man. It's crazy. But I decided to go back to the free squats, back squats today, and I worked up to a heavy weight. I really wanted to see, how I felt, how I went. Obviously, I auto-regulated each step, and it's weird. Like I'm looking for a way to describe this feeling myself. I can't really put my finger on it. Like I feel like I'm strong in certain positions. I'm strong in the positions that the box squat was training me. But now that extra little bit of depth feels very weak, man. My knees feel like they're gonna blow out. It's a weird sensation. I don't know whether you guys have had similar experiences with box squats, but I felt very, very shaky. I felt like my ankles have locked up a little bit. My heels are raising a whole lot more, and just not really comfortable in the ATG position. The whole time I was doing this, I kept thinking to myself, like, man, for 1,000 days throughout this journey, the one thing I've had really healthy is knees. And a lot of people were saying initially that I would have broken knees by the time I get to day 100 because of this. But what in fact was happening is I was having the opposite effect. High frequency and having circulation through the knees every single day in an ATG squat was actually helping my knees. And my knees started getting really, really strong. I never have any knee issues. The only issue I had with my, I think it was my left knee. I can't remember, left or right knee. It started clicking around day 50, and it was related to a tight glute. So I worked that out fairly quickly. But there was no pain, no discomfort, no weakness feeling like this. Automatically, I'm thinking to myself, all these guys that are having knee troubles and that are squatting to like parallel powerlifting kind of low bar squat, or squatting to basically not full depth and complaining of knee pain, I think is because they're not going to full depth. As counterintuitive that is, to go really deep for the sake of your knees. That's my experience, man. That is my experience. There's something about going full range of motion and not reversing that eccentric motion and going into the concentric motion of the squat kind of in midair. And that's what a parallel squat is. You're reversing it purely in your knees. Versus when you go down to an ATG squat, your hammies hit your calves. Let's say for some of us, our bellies hit the quads, and there's almost like a suspension type of mechanism happening where it's not so harsh on the joint. Your joints are not the only things, trying to reverse that motion. There's other tissues that are kind of connecting as you hit depth. It's been 10 days without me doing like a free squat, and already I'm feeling, wow, my knees are not feeling right, man. And so I can imagine if people go on years squatting to parallel, years, squatting to even quarter squatted, even worse, no wonder they would have knee pain. I can see it now clearly that if you're doing that, man, I don't know how you're dealing with the knee pain. I don't know what you're doing to reverse that. It is so much healthier on your knees to go full depth. So much healthier, man. Obviously, every style of squatting, every style of movement has its weakest link. I would say for me that the ATG squat has caused me hip pain because of, my stubborn thinking that squatting alone can be enough for the body. It took me a little while to realize that I need to hit the posterior chain basically as much as I'm hitting the anterior chain to have pain-free squatting. But the other thing people complain about with full ATG squats is the lower back pain, blowing the lower backs out. Because the lower backs, have that butt wink or they're round too much, and they cause that, uneven distribution of force through those discs in the L1 all the way to L5. Some people even do the, T12. The L4, L5 is a notorious one. I don't think there's any other freaking disc in the body that's been herniated more times than that one, and that's kind of like in the middle of that butt winking or that rounding, region of the body. So, everything you do has, consequences, but knee trouble, man, damn. This is, like I really feel like this is, if I was to continue going like this and only box squatting, I reckon I would have a lot of difficulties with my knees. Now, my hips feel unbelievable doing box squats. Like I feel really comfortable sitting on the box and getting up for it. I'm weak at it, right? Like I am, and from all the accounts that Louis Simmons and other guys have said, predominantly Louis Simmons is who I'm listening to, you are 10 to 15% weaker in the box squat if you're doing it correctly compared to your free squat. So I'm finding it more difficult, yet I'm finding it also comfortable in a way. Like obviously I'm using less weight, but it's just all the joints are kind of happy. However, if you do that too much and you go to a free squat, I don't know, maybe this is just an isolated incident for me, and other people have had different experiences, but I don't know. I did not like how I felt squatting today. I worked up to 180. I really wanted to feel like, how it's feeling, and my back felt strong, my hips felt strong underneath the squat and all that, but my knees felt like, I don't know, just exposed. It's really weird. And usually I never have this type of thought. I never think about my knees when I'm squatting. All I ever think about when I'm squatting, and I've said this many times before, is the only cue I say to myself is flat back, flat back, flat back. That's all I ever think about. That's my only concern, keeping that, spine neutral or flat or whatever the term is. And that's because of my history of having a back scare when I was 20, whatever. So ever since then, I'm like, okay, I will never sacrifice back positioning for any number. That's my number one priority. I have to make sure that's locked in. So, moving forward now, I'm thinking to myself, like, I can't be going 10 days like this without, free squatting. So maybe what I did today is something that I can do moving forward. I mean, today there was no volume at all. Like, it's not even a training session, It feels like I'm just sitting around, waiting around for my body to catch up, man. The whole house is sick, man. Like, my wife has had the best recovery. Maybe she's got the lowest, testosterone out of all of us, going on from the chats that we've had. But, she's been sick for 2 days, and now she looks like she's pretty good, whereas I've gone on for 7 freaking days. My boy before I got sick, my boy was sick for 7 days. He's going to school for a few days, and now he seems like he's sick again. He's just unreal, man, unreal. It is what it is, man. Like, talking to the teachers and whatever, there's always kids missing out of class because everyone's sick. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether I don't want to comment on that, but the world's going crazy. I feel like everyone's sick. Anyway, so what I'm thinking moving forward is doing free squats and box squats. So maybe, work up daily, singles with the free squat, back squat, ATG squat, whatever you want to call it. Maybe rotate the front and the back. I really want to start doing volume, but I can't do any volume. Like, I'm not right, physically. But eventually when I get around to it, I want to start front squatting again. I want to start doing back squatting again free, and then maybe do the volume, with the back squats. Obviously, still can't do high reps because of sickness and winter and whatever. But that's what I really want to do. But it's going to have to wait until, the seasons, progress and the weather gets a bit better. But for now, I'm going to stick with 5s. I don't know what else to do, man. I can't breathe heavy. So 5s on the box squat for now. That's kind of what I'm doing. And then at some point, I'll also deadlift again. I don't know, man. It's frustrating as hell, but it is what it is, man. Like, the biggest trouble for me is usually the opposite to the majority of the people. Like, I struggle when I'm like slowed down by something like this, man. I just want to get after it, man. Why can't I get after it? Sitting around watching TV all day, man. Just, it is painful, man. It is painful. I'm sleeping a lot. You know, that's one thing I'm doing. Sleeping a lot. Like last night I slept 11 hours. 11 hours, man. And part of that is because what am I going to do when I wake up? What am I supposed to do, man? I can't, I haven't been to work. I can't train. I can't do anything. Usually, like when I have days off, I will do, I've said this to you guys, I will do sit-ups, I'll do calf raises throughout the house, or I'll do some backyard work, front yard work, I'll do something. Now I get up and I'm like, all right, let's just walk over to the lounge, turn the TV on, see what's going on, drink some water. I'm not even eating a lot. It's just crap, man. But anyway, we've all been there. We've all been there. We've done all this. It's just part of it. Part of the grind, I guess. Anyway, guys, appreciate all of you guys on Patreon. Special thanks to the guys on the screen here. Discord, Instagram, YouTube comments. I guess with all this time, with sickness, I've got more time to kind of spend with you guys. But, even that, my eyes are, not the best as well with the headaches, whatever. So I'm trying to stay off the screen as much as possible as well. So it's just all out, freaking deloading from everything, which is, it's crazy. I'm not enjoying it. But anyway, that's me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.